Good afternoon. I think this is a very interesting topic. This is something first time we are introducing. As I said, 7 times stats decoded we have done. This is the first time we have included this particular topic because the weightage it has and the way it has transformed the whole research as such, it's phenomenal actually. AI has rewritten the way we write research. That is a tagline I used, and it's true. The way we are writing research now has totally changed. Definitely. And I always tell AI is not going to replace any of us. Still, it's our own research idea, research concept, our own methodology. But definitely, researchers using AI will replace who don't use AI. That is for sure. So we are in an era where we cannot tell that we are not going to use AI in our clinical practice or in research. So it is that era we are. So is my slides moving? Yeah. So a brief history of AI with deep learning. If you see AI first in 1940 it started, the artificial neuron, that particular concept came. Then a Turing test in 1950. If you see in 1950, the Turing test said a computer is intelligent if it's almost equivalent to a human. They tested a human, they tested a computer. They said that computer is almost equivalent to human brain. So that's what they called intelligent machine. That's what they called in 1950. Exactly, the word AI was coined in 1956 in Dartmouth conference. Then if you go down, if you see 2017, Vaswani is an Indian American, is a computer scientist. He is the one who first came up with that Google Brain, that project Google Brain, where they came up with the AI project called Transformer. But Google was waiting to release this transformer to public before our OpenAI released the ChatGPT. Although Transformers was the first published research study as far as the AI is concerned. But what was available early to public is ChatGPT. That's how we all know ChatGPT well, but not the transformer. This is a brief history. These are the various terminology: artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, generative AI. All, these are various terminology, but each one is one step ahead of the other one. Just simple example, if you see what is machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, just check. All of us order through Zomato. Zomato, we used to order food. Day in, day out, we all of us are ordering food. But over a period of time, Zomato itself will give some feedback. You ordered dosas, you ordered idli. So based on your taste, what you ordered over a period of time, it has the data and it will send your preferences. And most of the time, 90% will be correct. That is machine learning. The machine is learning about you. That is machine learning. Deep learning is machine goes one step ahead. One time you ordered sweet, one time you ordered dosa, one time you ordered dal makhani. So it tries to combine all, like your mother, how your mother is thinking for you and putting things on your plate. Like that, it thinks. It's an integrative network. It goes one step ahead and it gives a combination what you would like. Unlike a machine learning where it just gives one dish at a time, it tries to combine things and it tries to think for you like your parents or your daughter. It just gives that is deep learning. What is generative AI is it goes one step even further. It tries to combine all, try to create some new dish. It is creative. It is generating something new what you like sweet, you like spicy. It try to combine something and it will create some new dish. It's generating new ideas. That is generative AI. And it is large language model, what we all tell, like ChatGPT, Gemini, all large language model is, if you see over years, computer understood only the programming, Python, coding. These are the way we can connect to the computers. Otherwise, we cannot connect. You need to know the programming, you need to know the coding, you need to know Python to really talk to your computer. But that large language model, what it did is, it started understanding human language. I want dosa, I want idli, I want research concept, I want statistic analysis. You can just type, you can just even talk to the computer. That is large language model. It is almost like human being which is interacting with us. That is large language model. So generative AI and LLM is the one what we are all having what we are all using, the ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, all these things are generative AI. So coming to the context, what we are today in Stats Decoded, how AI can be used in research work. Okay, so many purpose we know, but how it can be used in the research methodology and research particular our work is. If you see research, it can automatize repetitive working like search, summarization. If you see some of the web search, some of the AI web search like Comet, if you see, it can really summarize the data. If you open EMR in your Comet web search, and you can ask, talk to the, I want this patient's complete details. It will go 5 years down the lane. It can give the summary of that particular patient. So it can even summarize. It can search for you. It can extract data from PDF. It can assist in images. For example, all the images what I have put yesterday, today morning what I have put the flyers, all these things are generated by AI. It can help you in citations, grammar and spelling check commonly most of us are using. So it enhances overall the productivity, and it decreases the time from the concept note to manuscript writing to publication. So the whole time it decreases, but still we are the most important person. As I always tell, you can have a Mercedes, you can have a BMW, still the driver is the most important person. So the mission and the technology may be different. The most important person is the researcher, and how we are going to use this AI tool is the most important. So what are the various AI in our clinical practice and in our research we can use this? One is for literature review. SciSpace is good. I am personally using SciSpace. I will have a demo also how we are using. For analysis, AI assisted stat is good. For PowerPoint presentation, including this PowerPoint, I've taken GammaA help, and I've given my own thought process into it. I changed, edited, and whatever you are seeing and whatever that has been written has been helped with the AI. Then Claude is good for data extraction. For any creative work, grammar, spelling check, ChatGPT is good. These are the 5 A's what I commonly use in my practice. I will try to have a demo mode also, how I use from the concept note to manuscript writing. So most important thing when you use AI is the prompt. The prompt is the way you speak to the computer. As I said, in the beginning, unless you know coding, programming, or Python, you cannot speak to a computer. You would have seen our own friends who have been in the computer science group. They would have been writing programming day and night. So those were the days. Gone are those days where you need to program, you need to write codes for communicating with the computer. Now it is just a human language. Okay, so the way how you are going to communicate to the computer is called prompt engineering. It's a prompt that you communicate with the AI. So how to write the prompt is more important. A garbage in is garbage. If you write something nonsense, what comes out also is nonsense. So garbage in is garbage out. That is a principle. So whatever you write, it should be very clear, very specific. This is the most important part as far as the AI is concerned. So asking the right question, and the prompt should be clear, and we should really mention the context, and it should be framed properly so that the computer AI can understand what we want. So overall, the framework, what I have been personally using for prompts is RTCO framework. This is the prompt I have been using. So you need to assign the role. What role you are giving the AI. For example, you want to write a manuscript. You are going to tell that I'm a medical oncologist. I'm writing a project proposal for the particular, for example, presenting to a DBT. So, or to ICMR project, I'm present. So, give the role. So, I'm a medical oncologist. You are a pediatrician who's writing a research proposal on immunization. So, you need to really clearly mention what role the AI is going to take. That is first. Then task what you really want. Okay, I want to write a project on comparing AI-based consensus on oncology with molecular tumor board consensus. This was so I want to know how AI is doing, or AI is giving its recommendation for complex oncology cases, and I want to compare that with a molecular tumor board. This is one of the tasks you are going to give. So you need to mention what is the task, and important is the task we need to clearly separate out. You can give 2 or 3 tasks, but always give a summary of the task. Then step 1, step 2. First collect the collect the case details. Then analyze the NGS report. Then based on the step 3 is based on the NGS report, give me the treatment recommendation. This is the task. So you should clearly define the task, and layering prompts is important. So you layer the task, first task, second task, third task. So first should be a summary or overview. Second will be the connected to the third will be connected to the task 3. So task 1, task 2, task 3. This is called layering prompt. So always give the task in such a way that it is clear, and stepwise you should give, and give the constraints and context. Context is why you are doing this. For example, I'm going to present in a public forum I'm presenting my project to a public forum. Okay, this is the context. So I want a PowerPoint to be generated. Okay, this is the task. So what is the context? The context is, as a medical oncologist, I need to present my project to a public forum. This is the context. So what is the constraints? The public forum contains or consists of predominantly MBBS students. This is the constraints, because if I'm going to speak very high level to a medical oncologist level, then MBBS students won't be able to understand. So the constraint is it should be a beginner level. So that is the constraint. So always try to give the context, give the constraint. For example, if I'm asking the AI to prepare a project for me, okay, the constraint is, you can tell my budget is only 50,000, or my constraint is I should finish the project in 6 months. These are the constraints. Then last is the output. You can always ask the AI how the output should come. Okay, so finally, I want a treatment recommendation for this particular patient. Finally, I want a concept note, which is almost some 500 words concept note I want. This is the output. I want a summary in bullet points, point 1, point 2, point 3. I want a executive summary. That is the output. You need to tell what you want. And if possible, you can give an example. You can attach a project what you have already prepared. If you have prepared a project before, you can attach that project also, so that the AI clearly understand what you want. This is the most important step when you use AI for any purpose in your clinical scenario. This prompt what you give, this is the most important step. What you get is based on the prompt what you write. This is very, very important. And what is important is, prompt is not one time. Okay, every time you see the output, you alter the prompt. So, okay, if you really see some projects you are running, version 15, version 16 prompts will be running. So many times you will be tweaking the prompt so that you will get the correct output. So a good prompt is, a clear task should be there. Given example, no ambiguity. For example, one end you are asking, give a concise report. Another end you are asking, giving me a comprehensive report. Both are ambiguous. Okay, one end you are asking it to give an executive summary. Another end you are asking a comprehensive review. Okay, it's ambiguous. So AI will get confused. So make sure there is not much of ambiguity. Ask for citation. This is very important. AI has hallucinations. A lot of fabrication is there. So always ask for citations and evidence. So always go and check the citations before you accept the output of AI. And you can always ask, I want to give this as a executive summary. I want to give as output to come as a table form. I'm preparing a slide, so give the output as a slide format. You can do that. So prompt refinement cycle is, every time you get the output, you refine the prompt. You know, AI is giving, you wanted a 100-word summary, but AI is giving 600-word summary. Then probably you need to go tell that I want an output that is brief. Okay, you want to have only one recommendation, AI will give 10 recommendation. You need to go and tweak that, limit with only one recommendation. So these are the ways where every time you do something, you get the output, you go and change the prompt so that next time you get a better output. So best practices, be very specific when you are asking what you want to AI, provide the context. Always try to use the RTCO: role, task, context, constraints, output. This RTCO format, always try to ask when you ask for a concept note or project proposal. Always try to do that in RTCO format. Always write a constraints. How do you want it? You want the tone should be professional tone. You want, there is a time frame within 6 months I need to finish the project. My budget is limited, because your budget will be 50,000, but it will give you a project proposal that is 5 lakhs or 6 lakhs. So always try to tell the what is your budget limits also. This will help you for a better project proposal. So just an example of a prompt what we have done. See, you can see the prompt is version 12. This is what we are using for one of the project. So this is the prompt for artificial intelligence studies. This is version 12. You can see what is the role I assigned. I assigned that you are an expert medical molecular tumor board reviewer with specialized training in medical oncology, molecular pathology. You know ESMO, NCCN, NICE guidelines, clinical trial evidence hierarchy, all these things you know. This is the role I am assigning to the AI. So I am telling that you are something as expert sitting in the molecular tumor board who knows everything. So that is the role. Okay, what I want to analyze, I want to analyze all the case material. So I'm going to submit you all my patients' data. Okay, I'm going to de-identify the patient's data. I'm going to feed you the NGS, pathology, imaging, all these reports I'm going to feed you. I want you to analyze these things, and I want to identify what is the predominant molecular pathway. I want you to tell me what is the best treatment. I want you to cite the evidence. Okay, I want also you to tell what is the actionability score. I want SCAT, AMP, tires also should be written when the output comes. So context. So basically, the context is I'm trying to compare you with the virtual molecular tumor board. What is happening simultaneously? So this is the context why I am asking this particular task from you. Then output. I am telling how the output should come. You should tell first whether you are able to read the entire data. That is first, because I need to know whether AI is able to read. Then step two is predominant molecular pathway. You identify the NGS report and tell what pathway is predominant. Step three is I'm asking you tell what treatment is important. So this is how you ask the output. So step one, step two, step three, you need to be very clear when you ask AI to give a output which is for your any of your project proposal. So this RTCO framework is very important. Prompt is very important. Prompt is how you communicate. For doctors, we know although medical skill is important, for being a successful doctor, you need to have a communication skill. So unless you are able to communicate, you will not be the best. Same way with AI also, you should be able to communicate AI in a proper way. For that, the only language AI knows is prompts. This prompt should be perfect for you to write a project proposal. So these are various AI which personally we use. One is ChatGPT. ChatGPT is versatile. It has a lot of other modes. It has image generation is there. It can video generation is there. So and once you buy ChatGPT 5, all many of the other AIs also comes free along with it. So most of us will be using ChatGPT as the initial AI for usage. So this is a versatile model. Next is a SciSpace. SciSpace is very good for literature review. Most of us have some research idea. We go do a literature review, check the background, Indian context, international context. So for that, to have the entire literature review, the SciSpace is very good. The Claude is very good in huge data. It is very good. Huge scientific data is there. Huge medical data is there. Claude is very good to read those documents, extract scientific details, analyze and give it to us. GammaA is you want to convert the project proposal to a PowerPoint. GammaA is very good. So these are the four common AI what I am personally using for any of the project proposal or manuscript writing. So first step one, search papers. You have a research concept. So you want to search the papers, you want to do a literature review, SciSpace is very good. Second is you need to extract the data and write the paper. Claude ChatGPT is good. For analyzing the data and biostatistics, ChatGPT plus GammaA, it can write code also. Claude, ChatGPT, both can be used for writing the draft. For preparing slides, GammaA is important. So A can be used for sample size calculation, but you be sure it has a lot of errors. Once you calculate calculate sample size using A, make sure you double check with the statisticians. It can help us for abstracts, for cover letter writing, responding to emails, responding to reviewer comments. All these things AI can be used. What we should know is it has a lot of limitations and ethical issues. Hallucination is something it will tell a recommendation, it will quote a paper, but when you go to the paper, there won't be anything. Okay, or it will be misrepresenting. It is very common. If you my own experience, ChatGPT has the highest hallucination. Claude as such has a less hallucination. Perplexity is something in between. So over a period of time, you know which has a lot of hallucinations. So hallucination is nothing, that nothing is there. It will tell that this is the recommended treatment, and it will give a reference also. You go to the reference, nothing will be there. Okay, it will be totally a ghost paper. There won't be anything. So next is it will fabricate. It will fabricate almost a new paper is there, but again nothing will be there. Extraction failure. Many times you feed the data, it won't be able to extract. You will feed a data, it won't be able to extract, and whatever the available data, it gives a recommendation. So you need to be very careful. Many times link error. It will give a link that the reference is this. You go press the link, nothing will be there. So this is called link error. So these are the various problems you will face with AI. An ethical issue is never upload identified patient data, because they are using ChatGPT for training. All AIs are given free because they're training the module. So whatever you are feeding, it's going to be there in their memory. So always make sure that you de-identify all the details before giving to the AI. So it retains data. If you go for ChatGPT, there'll be something called temporary task. If you press that, if you give sensitive, for example, you are going to give an account, your account's details. That is something which you need to be very careful. But if you go for temporary task, it will retain the memory only for 30 days. There is a separate mode called temporary task. So be responsible, avoid plagiarism. AI is good, but still always remember you need to go and check. The final output should be from you, and it's the researcher, it's the doctor, it's the clinician who is accountable, who is responsible, not the AI at all. Always be responsible while using an AI. So this is one of the recent paper where we even acknowledge. You can see the recent paper which is yet to get published. We have used ChatGPT for text version, grammatical correction. We have written. So now many of the publications, many of the journals are accepting AI. All you need to is mention that I use AI for grammar, I use AI for literature review. You can really do that. There is nothing wrong in it. No journal is going to reject because you used AI. So before submitting to any journal, always see what is the journal specifications. So key takeaway, AI is a partner. It's not a replacement. Still, you are the most important. As I said, car can be Mercedes-Benz, car can be BMW. Still, the driver is the most important. Choose the right tool. It's very important. We choose the right tool for the right job. Each AI has its own plus and minus. So you need to use the right AI for that particular work. Prompt is the prompt is the way you communicate with the AI. So most important is how clear is your prompt. So verify before you trust anything that comes out of AI. So human judgment plus AI precision, that is the best you can have. I'm just showing a small demonstration where how we have gone from concept note to uh, a project proposal. I'm just one small demonstration I'm showing you. So this is a small idea. Yeah. Okay. It's just 10 minutes. So basically you can see. My thought is how good is AI to decipher NGS, NGS's next generation sequencing data? Is the AI is as good as any other virtual molecular tumor board? This is the question I had, because most of us are using AI for this. So I was just asking one particular question, research question, whether how good is AI in comparison with molecular tumor board? This is the question. So I want to know how much data literature is already existing. Okay, so what is the AI that helps for literature review? Anybody can answer, can put in the chat box. Which AI will help us in literature review? I already mentioned in my talk. Okay, SciSpace, exactly. Fine. So all of you can type also. How many of you already used SciSpace? Just type, I have used, I have not used. Okay, so I'm just proceeding. So SciSpace, I asked this particular question, is there any other papers on this? So this SciSpace is searching for me. You can just check it out. So you can see it is giving some 10 papers K for me. Okay, so the SciSpace is something similar to your research thought. Some 10 papers are there. So the beauty of SciSpace is you can really speak to the papers. You can speak to the paper what you want. Okay, so I'm giving give me only papers on large language model. I don't want all AIs. I don't want machine learning. I don't want deep learning. I just want large language model alone. Those papers alone, you tell me. So I'm asking the SciSpace. So you can see the output. Again, it's searching, rerunning the whole search. So it has given next recommendation more paper aligning with my research thought. Now I'm interested most. I did a survey with my own medical oncologist here, and I asked what are the most common LLM they are using. Most of them are said that they are using ChatGPT. So I want the papers which used only ChatGPT. This is what I want. So I rerun the research. So now it gave me all the papers that is relating to this ChatGPT. So the SciSpace said some 10, 15 papers have come to me that these are the papers which is almost aligning with with your research job. So next is you. I want to go and see what paper. So I went to the papers. So this is the first paper I clicked. ChatGPT large language and processing capability comparison. So I'm just checking. So what I did is here you can see I went and saved in my library so that there is a you can create a library. All the research paper which is in alignment with your research idea will get saved, and you can talk with this paper. That's the beauty of this SciSpace. You can ask where was this study done, what is the summary, what is the abstract, give me the sample size used in this. So this AI will go search in that particular scientific paper and will tell you all the details. So instead of going to reading the each paper, it will give time for us to have a quick review. So once you know this is almost aligning with your research thought, probably you can download the whole PDF and read. So this is how it happens. So what happens is you can go to the next paper. So so these are the papers I said. I thought these are the papers which is almost similar to my research thought. So next, what I did is next what I did is I made a table using the size space. So you can see that there are tables, columns are there. So I want to make 5 columns of all the papers, conclusion, summary, abstract, results. So it'll be easy for me to compare different papers. So what I did is I made more columns and made a table of all the papers that is almost similar to my research idea and research thought. So I'm adding tables. So next I want conclusion of all the studies in a table format. So in this way, what I got is I got almost some 5 or 6 papers. Then I download the paper and I read the whole paper, methodology, sample size, what was used. All these things I was able to do so that I can prepare a concept note for this particular research idea. So the research idea came from me, but to prepare the concept note to make it easy, AA has helped me. Then I wrote a prompt. Okay, so here I wrote a prompt, as I said, RTCO role, task, context, and output. So I said, you are a public health and oncology research proposal. So that is the role I am assigning. So I want a project. A task is write a 100. So I'm giving you a concept note of 100 word. Make it as a proposal. Context is I'm doing a research comparing LLM with the molecular tumor board. I need a project proposal for that, and output is this is the format I want. This is a prompt I have written. So what I did is, so a prompt has been written with an RTCO with constraints I did. Then with already existing idea, after reading all the papers, I prepared a concept note which is 100 words. Then the prompt is already done. Then I have given the prompt and I asked the ChatGPT using the prompt, prepare a project proposal for me. So this is the input I gave for the ChatGPT to go through. So the prompt is given. So after that, the project proposal is done. So ChatGPT is giving us a project proposal. Remember, project ChatGPT has a clause model. So here there is a clause. You can see in the top right hand column there will be a called clause mode will be there. Once you press the clause mode, then the project and the writing will be on the right hand side, and the chat box will be in the left hand side, so that you can interact with the ChatGPT easily. So you can see the project is being generated. So I'm pressing the close mode. So you can see the chat box comes to the left side. Project proposal is there. Then it gives a magic wand. You can see here, there will be a magic wand will be there. I'm just going back again. Okay, so this is the magic wand. ChatGPT has a magic wand. So you press that magic wand, there will be two things. So there will be a project according to what level, whether you want to write a project for the beginner or a university level. So I said, I want the project to be written at a graduate level. So because I'm writing a medical oncology project, so it should be the highest level. So I said, write the project according to the graduate level. So ChatGPT rewrites the whole thing. You can write a project for MBBS students. You can write a project for 12th standard students. So that if you write a 12th standard student, the project will be very simple. So you can choose the level accordingly using this AI. So again, I'm getting a project which is for a graduate level. So in the same way, you can use for to increase or decrease the length of this whole project proposal, make it comprehensive or concise. All these things can be done. Okay. Then so next comes, I want to add references. You can see I selected the background. So see, it has given a lot of data. So I want all the references. I'm asking the ChatGPT, give me all the citations as per the PubMed index journals. Give me only PubMed index journals, I'm telling. So it will read and it will give us the references based on which the ChatGPT has written the background and rationale for this particular study. So you can see it is citing all the evidence based on which it has written the proposal. So I'm asking add the paragraph and give the citation in the Vancouver style. So you can see the Vancouver style, it has added all the authors and listed also the papers in the end as the references. So in this way, ChatGPT has helped. So once ChatGPT gives us, then you always remember this particular site. This is a very good site. So yeah. So this Equator network is a very good site. So once you write the project proposal, you should always follow the guidelines. So each guide proposal, if it's a cross-section study, it's a different. It's a case control study, the guidelines are different. So go to this Equator network, then see what is the guidelines. For example, this is the study, what I proposed is a cross-sectional. So I went to strobe guidelines. So I downloaded the guidelines. You can see. So this is a PDF comes. So I download the PDF. So after that, now I had a project that is written by ChatGPT. I have the strobe guidelines. Then I go to the Claude. Why I go to the Claude? Because Claude, what I am using is not a paid. It will allow me only 5 tasks. More than that, it won't allow because it's not paid. Second thing is ChatGPT is always good to write the proposal initially. It's more creative, but it has a lot of hallucinations. So if you go and check all the references, almost 50% will be fabricated. So always go back to the Claude and rewrite the proposal before going to the editing and checking the references. So I went to the Claude, submitted the STROB guidelines, I submitted the project proposal prepared by the ChatGPT, and same prompt I rerun here. Whatever the prompt I prepared, the same prompt I have rerun. So once that is done, the Claude gives you the entire proposal. It will be like when you start a proposal, after that multiple editing happens. It will be almost some version 5 or version 6 of your own proposal. That's what. Again, don't believe whatever it gives. It's very important that you have multiple brainstorming, read each and every references, look for hallucination before accepting anything that comes out of the AI. So here you can see Claude has given me the entire proposal, and the other thing what I personally use is for data extraction. This is another thing where molecular tumor board extraction. This is a RTCO for extracting the data. So I given a prompt for extracting all the data. So what I written the prompt. So I given the data extraction case file and the extraction prompt I given. So you can see here. So once I give, so instead of going and reading and extracting the entire file, particularly this project what I have, the extraction is very, very tough because I need to go inside each next generation sequencing report and collect all the mutations. It's very difficult. So AI can help us in extracting the data also. So you can see the data is extracted. and it will be given in the Word format. Of course, you need to go and check it before you accepting the data as such. So this is the final project proposal you can see. So whatever the project, whatever you see, you can see it's a version 14. Once the Claude gave me whatever the project proposal, after that multiple brainstorming, checking, editing, deleting the references. After that, 14 version has gone before accepting the whatever the initial proposal that came out of the Claude. That's how it is. It's not once you get something out of AI, it's over. Lot of errors will be there, but still at least 5 or 6 versions may be saved when you use AI for your project proposal. So this is the final project proposal what we are given, and we have submitted for CTRA also. And definitely we need to acknowledge that AI has been used for writing the project proposal in the end. So this is the data collection form. Again, we used AI to generate this data collection form. You can see version 6. So whatever it gave, the data collection form, after that multiple brainstorming happened with molecular scientists, oncologists, and finally sixth version is what we are using. So, so this is a small demo of our concept note to project proposal. So I'm just exiting. So with this, I think I gave you a small 10 minutes video, although it is some 2 or 3 hours of work, and whatever we have done, and checking all these things takes months. What editing, hallucination check, all these things take months actually. But I try to put everything in 10 minutes so that you understand how it can be used. Probably a full-time workshop is required for us to really teach you how AI can be used in generating the project proposal, generating the extra data collection form, how to extract data from case files into data collection. All these things requires a lot of expertise, training, trial and error method. But definitely in the end, I think it eases 50% of our work. That's what I will tell. Rest 50% is still there. And you need to be very cautious when you use AI for research proposals. And you need to make sure that all the citations and references are checked before accepting what comes out of AI. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arun. I think everybody would agree with me. Dr. Arun's session was really very energizing to just see how easily we can write a proposal. And I think he has done a lot of AI work. Your presentation also looked very good, Doctor. I think, was it done using GammaA, Doctor?
Yeah, GammaA, and after that we edited. So that's what probably
Okay.
it's a third version of GammaA. So
Okay. So it really conveys how much of things can be done using artificial intelligence. And if we are able to use it wisely, surely it's going to help and be one among us to give good results. Thank you so much, Dr. Arun, for this.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.